Hi everyone! I wanted to talk about the current drama with the Crown Store that's been popping off on the forums and on Twitter. My own tweet about it seems to have gained a lot of traction, and a lot of others have expressed the same sentiments. I feel like not many content creators actually speak out about this, but the increase of monetization and gambling in the Crown Store is getting ridiculous. I wanted to preface this before we get into it, however. Most people, including me, are not against the Crown Store. I myself have bought things from it, and will probably buy things from it in the future. In saying that though, I haven't purchased crowns since mid-last year at some point, so yeah. A cash shop is an inevitable part of an MMO. What people are tired of is the increase in price of things, the aggressive promotion of crown crates, and the lack of earnable rewards. The player base is frustrated because all the effort seems to be going into more things to sell other than giving us rewards that we can earn by playing the game or completing harder content. Also, I just want to say, please don't blame the devs for this. I believe almost all of this is out of their control and they have zero say in the matter. They already get enough abuse from angry players as is, and we shouldn't direct all of our gripes and whatnot towards the devs. Anyway, if you're out of the loop, basically ZOS has released a new offer for the Ragebound crown crates. There is a one-time purchase offer of 25 crates, which also includes a guaranteed shade polymorph that is completely separate from the crates. What this means is that you can only obtain this polymorph from that bundle, and it's not available with gems or seals of endeavors. This pack is 8,000 crowns, which works out to be about $65 US if you need to purchase the 5,500 and 3,000 crown bundles. For me being in New Zealand, this works out to be about $90, which is pretty fucking expensive. Look, I'm sure you've already seen lots of people saying this, but it's extremely predatory to lock a highly desired item behind a paywall and make it completely unearnable in-game with the endeavors. On top of this being an incredibly ridiculous offer, I also wanted to talk about crown crates in general, rewards, and the pay to win when it comes to the real endgame. As we all know, fashion. Okay, no one is perfect. I'm not going to sit on a high horse and tell everyone off for buying crates. I've bought crates in the past myself. I've bought things from the Crown Store. But I'm sure if you've also bought crates before, you know how disappointing it is to only ever get some crown potions and poisons, 5 duplicates of the same non-combat pet, and some XP scrolls. I've only ever gotten one Radiant Apex mount, and this was about 2 years ago. The drop rates of items in crates are absolutely ridiculous. There used to be an add-on and website that tracked the drop rates of items, which is very useful, which I will touch on later. After Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax, however, Microsoft forced their policy of disclosing the drop rate chances of the items in the crates. If we look at the ESO website, we can clearly see the chances of getting each item. The drop rate for Apex and Legendary are pretty low. It's also worth noting that they don't disclose the drop rate of Radiant Apex rewards because it falls under the Apex category, but it's way lower than 2%. But what I really wanted to look at is the bullet points below. We're always guaranteed a superior or blue reward. This is alright, but a majority of it is trash, or you just keep ending up getting dupes over and over. What I'm curious about is how they say the chances of getting the rewards increase with each roll. However, they don't state how much that increased chance is. They also state this is only for some rewards, so we really have no idea if this includes the higher tiered rewards at all. They also say there's no plan to change the drop rates at the moment, but it could change anytime in the future and they don't have to notify us. But in saying that, that means there's also no consideration to make the drop rates better. If we take a brief look at crowncrates.com, which is the add-on website used to track the drop rates before ZeniMax disclosed this info, we can see things seem to match up pretty well. But what ZOS doesn't tell you is the disparity of drop rates between the items in the same tier. Some items are weighted to drop more than others, and the ones you're more likely to get are the less desirable items. I believe if people knew these statistics as well, there would be a bit more consideration into buying crates or not. For example, if we look at the Nightfall crates, which seem to have the largest sample pool with over 37,000 crates opened, we can see that the Radiant Apex rewards have a standard drop rate of 0.31% or a 1.8% drop rate if you get a bonus card. However, it's worth noting that the bonus card chances are only 17%. I'm not good at math, but you basically get a 1.8% chance out of a 17% chance. I'm not sure how that works. Can someone please do the math for me in the comments? And going back to the point of the weighted odds, in the legendary rewards, you seem to have a 0.5 to 0.7 chance to get most of the items, including mounts, skins, mementos, weapons, etc. And there's a 4.3% chance to get a 150 XP scroll. This sort of weighted odds seems to apply to all the other categories at differing rates, so you're way more likely to get an XP scroll or other consumable over anything else. As we can see, this is somewhat misleading, as the general consumer does not know these odds, which stacks on top of the already questionable practices of loot crates in general. It's a predatory gambling system, and I know multiple people who have literally spent thousands of dollars on crowns to buy crates just to get one mount. These are the people that ZOS preys on and gets their money from, and they don't want people who are critical of them. Not to mention, this is already on top of a $15 a month subscription most people pay for and a $100 chapter every year. They are killing it, I would say. Now, moving on to one of the other complaints people have is the lack of rewards in-game and the increase in Crown Store items only. I know content creators like Nephis and a few others discussed this a while back, and they gave that feedback to ZeniMax when they had a meeting with a bunch of the ESO streamers and YouTubers. And I believe we've somewhat started on the right track with the new dungeon DLC bringing skins back. However, the Crown Store to earnable rewards ratio is still very small. You look at other MMOs with cash shops and you see people still buy from them, but they have a shit ton of earnable rewards in-game. Give us more stuff for completing content, even if it's not the hardest content in the game. While trifectas and endgame achievements tend to lack tangible rewards, there is also a lack of rewards for players who can only complete lower levels of content. Personally, as someone who enjoys doing hard content, it's frustrating that players hardly get anything more than a title for putting in the time and effort to complete a trifecta. However, I have seen intermediate players expressing the desire for more rewards they can obtain from content at their skill level. I think other content creators have said this in the past, but even if they made a quarter of the rewards from the crown crates earnable through achievements, more people would be more happy. So how do we solve this issue? Frankly, I would say stop buying crown crates, stop buying crowns, stop paying for overpriced items, and stop paying for crown store items with gold. Just because you aren't spending your money, someone else is still giving ZeniMax their money. Just like when there was a mass exodus and cancellation of ESO Plus when Update 35 came around, we as a player base need to speak with our wallets because that seems to be the only effective way to make a difference. I don't think we need to get rid of the crown store completely, but some things need to change. Personally, I would be happy if they did away with crates. They could still offer the items in them while turning some into in-game rewards, but just let people purchase them outright. Maybe turn some of them into packs, like how they do with furniture packs. I guarantee you, people will still buy that stuff, and the people who are wary of crates might also be more inclined to spend money on the crown store if they know exactly what they're getting. This would do away with all the predatory gambling system and ensure a happier player base overall. This would also be beneficial to players in countries where crown crates are banned. They would still be able to get the items and not miss out. Another idea would be rebalancing the drop rate odds in the crates. If things had a higher drop rate, that would make it less punishing on players, but you still don't get rid of that gambling aspect and, predatory mindset of the crates. Another issue I wanted to touch on is the price of crowns themselves. Obviously, this varies from country to country, but my issue is the lack of crown sales. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's only about 3 or 4 crown sales per year. This is around the anniversary event and around Christmas time and maybe a couple other times in the year. I can't quite remember, but they're quite rare. Historically, I would only ever buy crowns when they're on sale. I've never ever bought crowns outside of those periods. Since longtime players know that they hardly ever do sales, they normally wait for them and buy huge crown packs to last them the months to come. However, there's still loads of people who buy them at full price, especially newer players who aren't even aware of when the sales come. And of course, if you want to buy something, normally you have to buy 2 of the crown packs, or the really expensive ones, because just one won't give you enough to buy a certain item. Which is going back to the original thing that prompted this video, the 25 crate and shade polymorph deal. We've come full circle into this overarching issue. The player base are tired of the direction this game is going. I love ESO, and it consumes a lot of my life, but me and many others don't like the way things are looking. Just stop the monetization, listen to the player base, and please just give us more things we can earn in-game without trying to push crown crates down our throats. And to summarize, going back to my original post that I made on Twitter, we don't want a $65 polymorph, overpriced outfits, predatory exclusive time offers, and customized actions. We want more rewards that you can actually earn by playing the game. We want original things to spend our crowns on without having to gamble. People aren't against the crown store. It's inevitable for any MMO to have a cash shop. What people are tired of is the price of everything rising and the exclusivity of things in the crown store. Instead of locking everything behind a paywall, incentivize people to actually earn it. And this post has gotten so many likes and retweets, which I think says a lot, and I probably speak for a lot of the player base when I express these views. Please, just listen to us. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching. If you have any thoughts or ideas as to how they could improve the state of the crown store or crates, let me know in the comments. As always, check the description for more info and links to my Twitter and Instagram if you want to follow me over there. Have a good one.